All right, and we're recording. This is episode 10. Craig, we reached double digits of peaked in college. How do you feel?
Pretty speechless.
Yeah, clearly we
But
can tell.
I'm glad. Yeah. How do you feel, David?
I feel great. I feel accomplished. I feel great to get to double digits. You know, the people never thought we could make it here.
Yeah.
But here we are. We're on our road to triple digits now, and we welcome on in this very special episode, Mr. Ben Schultz. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure to be here on such a monumentous episode for you guys. It's a true underdog story come true, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, hopefully someday you can open up the old YouTube app and show the grandkids about this one.
Yeah, it'll break some records.
Oh yeah.
Ben is another good example of someone who peaked in college. He was Katie Light in pickup games. He was the GOAT person giving tours of the business school. I don't even remember what you call that anymore. He was in Brocals, and he's also a spike ball champion.
That is a pretty impressive resume.
Yeah. So Ben also peaked in college, so it's fitting.
Yeah, big time. The Spike Ball Championship, it's funny that you bring that up. I don't frequently reference that on my list of greatest achievements, beating one team to win the intramural championship. But hey, nobody has to look at the records. Flags fly forever. So,
dude, it does not matter how many games it took to win. It does not matter. What matters is that you have that shirt hanging up in your closet that you'll wear forever. So congratulations.
And tell the grandkids.
And tell the grandkids about it. When you tell the grandkids about it, you beat about 14 teams on your way to the championship and beat a bunch of Division I athletes in the championship. So
oh yeah, it's the Brian Scalarini post 2008 finals interview where he's like, shoot, I'm gonna tell my grandkids I won MVP. Like,
yeah, that was a classic interview for underdogs everywhere. Because that like snobby reporter was like, how does it feel to win a championship even though you didn't do anything? He had a great response. I would not have had such a great, calm, composed response. I would have just like snapped on the dude for sure.
Those guys are so good though. Like Brian knows that like he could just destroy anyone in basketball, besides the best of the best.
You're just on first name basis with Brian Scalarini now?
Yeah. He's my grandfather.
The White Mamba, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, exactly.
I hated to detour it down this way, but have either of you did you follow the Scallenge when that was going on YouTube?
Negative.
Oh, you have to check it out. So a bunch of dudes were chirping him, saying that he was trash at basketball. So he put out an open challenge to everybody in the New England area to play him one-on-one. And he reviewed a bunch of film and played 5 guys, and they did a YouTube series about it. And he's just like, he's playing like D1 level athletes and just trashing them one-on-one. And he has a great quote that came out of it as he's chirping these guys late in the game. And he's like, I'm way closer to LeBron than you are to me. And I feel like every time I'm watching a Drake basketball game and I'm like, why did you miss that shot? I'm like, oh, timeout. This dude is like closer to Brian Scalabrine than I am to like an athletic trainer on the team.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like I've seen like clips of that. I don't know if it was like Facebook or Twitter or wherever I saw them, but like I should watch like start to finish because those videos are good to remind people, to humble people, I guess, like from the fans that sit there and watch on TV and think that like the last guy on the bench is trash, when in reality, like he would school any normal dude like any day of the week.
I remember like even what's the walk on that broke his leg at Drake? What's his name? I guess I don't even know if he's on the roster still, but like he averaged like 25 points per game in like Iowa. It was like a Mr. Basketball candidate, like just insane. Yeah. And like didn't get a scholarship and like.
Yeah, then people like me are at the game and they're like, dude, that dude's trash. If he can be on the team, I can be on the team, Like that's what's sad about it is like dude, any one of those dudes would beat me.
Tough loss for Drake this week.
Dude, Drake basketball really just puts me through the whirlwind of emotions.
Yeah,
I'm grateful that they're good now. I'm pissed that they weren't good in the 6 years that I was there. But I am grateful that they're relevant now. I haven't been following up with the women's team too much, but I have been following a little bit with the Oklahoma women's team. Shout out Jenny Baranchek. She's balling over there at Oklahoma. Chantel and
she got style too.
Yeah, dude. They're like top 10 now, I think.
They're legit. Yeah, it's
good.
Good for her. I like to think that we inspired her and we made her rethink lots of things on the court.
I think
really
so
push
too.
her
I,
to your
I like to
best.
think that you and I kind of changed your coaching philosophy
Yeah.
and helped her get that next big ticket. Like my last women's practice, I sat down in her office. We had our exit interviews, and after she handed me my paycheck, I just told her, Jenny, I think you can, you're capable of so many big and great things in life, and I just worry that the blue and white is holding you back. So after that, I called the AD over at Oklahoma, and I was like, I think you should give Jenny a shot. And next thing you know, she's top 10 in the country. So
Wow.
Be
yeah.
blue no more.
Not many people know that, but now whoever watches this will know. So
If she ever wins a natty, do you get a ring?
yeah, she already promised that. So
There you go.
I already got fitted because that's how much faith I have in Jenny, Chantel, and Keish.
Did Chantel go too?
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
Good for them.
I know. I miss practicing basketball and being in decent shape in my life, and now I just walk like 100 yards and I'm short of breath.
Run into crack grandmas on the road.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. Speaking of that, actually, I walk like to and from work at least most of the way, and I was curious of what you guys thought of this concept. When you're walking, do you consciously think of like the cracks and trying to avoid them when you walk? Because I was thinking that today, and I definitely like avoid the cracks, because I love my mom and everything, and I want her to be as healthy as possible.
All the time. I mean, literally, like, and it is not even a subconscious thing. Like, I am consciously avoiding cracks, and I realize it's dumb, but it's just a part of who I am. Even when I'm running too, which has resulted in like a few slip and falls because you're like, whoop, gotta like place the foot weird here, but you cannot step on a crack. No, nothing will ever make me do that to my mom.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Ben. What about you, Craig?
It feels weird. Yeah, no, I avoid it. Not even because of my mom. I mean, I love my mom, but like I don't actually think that like she's gonna break her back if I step on a crack. But I do it because if I step on a crack with my right foot, then I feel like I have to do it with my left foot, and then I feel doubly bad. And it's just a cycle I don't want to go down, so I just avoid it. But thankfully we have snow to cover up most of the sidewalks here.
Could you imagine though the feeling that you would have if you were just on the sidewalk pitter pattering around on the cracks, and next thing you know you get a call from your dad and he's like, "Hey, mom's in the hospital. She's got a severed spine." You'd be like, "Damn, I should have avoided those cracks."
And because you feel like you have to step on it in pairs of twos, you did like double the damage.
Yeah,
dude. Your dad just calls you, like, Craig, what happened?
Yeah.
Did I ever tell y'all about my back problems when I was a kid?
No.
So this is my fun fact. So I had a bunch of like back problems in middle school from tennis and like over swinging and stuff like that. And so I had an X-ray done in my back, and I'm actually missing a vertebrae in my back, and I would be about an inch taller if I had that vertebrae. So I was born without a vertebrae. The disc is just like gone, or I guess I don't know the science term.
You think you would have went D1?
Oh, what about went D0 straight to the NBA?
Oh yeah. I believe it, dude. You're an intramural champion at Drake, so you were basically like one step away. So if you had that extra vertebrae, you're right there.
Exactly. Would have been the WNBA star instead of the Gray Squad.
You would have been the new White Mamba.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
that is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know why you've never told me that. Like, I've known you for like 7 years and you've never mentioned that once.
Yeah.
You just afraid I'd make fun of your scoliosis or what?
Yeah. I don't want to be made fun of for my, I don't want to say like disability, but my birth defect.
Your disability does not define you, Craig.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a great man.
Thanks, David. You too.
Okay, that's enough of this talk. So this weekend upcoming, so obviously right now we're recording, I'll post it later tonight, but it is February 8th. And this weekend is a big one for basically one reason only that I can think of, and that is the Super Bowl. Can you guys think of any other reason why it would be like a big upcoming weekend? I got nothing.
Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
Winter Olympics, yeah. Half pipe.
Trade deadline. NBA trade deadline's wrapping up, so we got to, process that.
Yeah, true. I was thinking that, yeah. That's all I got.
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do think it's Valentine's Day this weekend as well. So
what does Jackie think about that day?
Yeah, Jackie's not going to be happy about that one when she gets nothing on the big V day, so we'll see.
Have you pre-ordered flowers?
No.
Ben has.
I plead the fifth.
Let's go.
Dude, here's the problem with that, though. I actually was looking into that. And if you pre-order them, don't they just like So say you get them at like a normal store, you know, I don't know, maybe you guys use like 1-800-Flowers or something, but if you get them from like a normal store, don't they just like prepare them once you buy them and then they just sit there?
I don't know if either of us are like inside experts into the floral industry, but that feels like a good like 60 minutes that we need to do some digging on.
I low-key am an inside expert into this because my aunt is actually a florist. My grandpa came from Denmark and opened a flower shop in the United States.
Don't be so
I will
quick
retract
to
that
judge,
statement.
Yeah. Okay, Craig, what's your insider information then?
All right, so if you go to like a legit florist, they would not prepare it like way before. But like I don't know what 1-800-Flowers is doing or what, you know, grocery stores like. But if you go to like an actual like flower boutique or like, you know, someone who's like job is that and they specialize in that and they're good at it, they're not like making your flowers today if you ordered them a week in advance.
Okay, well that's good to know, and maybe I'll get on top of that because if they're sold out, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah, and I guess I'll have to call my aunt Leslie because I guess I don't know when they put them in the cooler. Maybe it's like the day before or something like that, but it's for sure not a week because I mean that's bad for the flowers. So
yeah, well I didn't think they really cared about the flowers or me. I just thought they cared about like, you know, the money that comes in. But
yeah.
I guess, you know, that's a good point. Those mom and pop shops that they give every order with a little bit of sprinkle, a little bit of love on there.
I'll sprinkle. Ben, what'd you order?
Again, my girlfriend will be listening to this, so I'm gonna try to stray away from too many details.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a surprise, Craig.
Yeah, Craig's Valentine's Day has already cost him one relationship, so now he's trying to cause some problems in mine. But so my parents are T-Mobile customers. I'm still on their plan, and every Tuesday there's this T-Mobile app that like gives you random deals to stuff, and I've bought like really nice clothes and stuff from it. And I logged on this week and they had a deal on something related to, you know, whatever this random holiday is the day after the Super Bowl. So I decided to take part in that, but that's as much as you're going to get out of me, Craig.
Yeah, your girlfriend's going to love hearing that you got a discount and used a promo code on her Valentine's.
We at least got that. Let's go.
Hey, that's the only reason. I think they actually use like last year's roses too and just kind of spray paint them. So we'll see. It may be a used teddy bear too.
They hold up longer that way when they spray paint them, so that's good to hear.
All fake, babe.
Yeah, we'll have to bleep out that T-Mobile thing because we're actually sponsored by Verizon. So.
Oh shoot! Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Verizon.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah.
Ads come at the end of the show though, so
he didn't have the list of sponsorships before he came on.
David, what are you doing? Like, are you going out for date night with Jackie or?
No, pause on that thought, but that's just reminding me. So I'm actually going to be neutral with all my beverages until we get a beer sponsorship. So I'm not going to show whatever beverage I'm drinking until that email comes in. So, you know, we've heard from thousands of people that want to sponsor us, but we haven't heard from beer yet. So
we're waiting on the craft.
We're waiting on the beers. Yeah.
Exactly. But craft distilleries have been railing us. So
yes. Yeah. But all right. What was your question? I'm sorry.
Date night with Jackie, what do you have planned? Or is that a secret too?
It's not a secret. I don't have anything planned. I mean, it's Tuesday. Am I supposed to be thinking about this already? Like that you guys are making me sweat this one out already.
We're a week away, David.
Yeah, well, a week is plenty of time to think of. I'm going to sit in bed and ponder for the next 5 nights and I'll figure something out.
Sounds good.
And the good news is if you're too late for flowers, you can always use the line of like, you know, flowers are nice, but they'll die after a little while. And I wanted to do something that you would cherish longer, like, you know, memories of, you know, whatever you end up doing or, you know, whatever the gift is. So that's always a good little one to keep in your back pocket. Yeah, ladies, good. I hope you bleeped out the last 15 seconds.
I was going to say, I'm going to have to bleep that one out and use it. That's pretty good. Yeah. So like, yeah, flowers, they're not worth it, babe. They die after a few days, but, you know, this chocolate bar will last at least a few weeks.
Craig, do you have any plans?
I do not. I got a free get out of jail free card because Sophia's best friend Lauren is in town for the weekend. So I guess on Monday we're going to get a cocktail. We're going to a nice, cool speakeasy. So that'll be fun. I'm excited about that. But it's not like a whole weekend thing, which I'm excited about. You know.
My advice to you would be to pay for not only Sophia's drink, but also her friend that is saving you from doing a whole day of Valentine's.
I owe her big time. Yeah, no, for
Oh boy, I'm gonna be in so much trouble after this.
Me too.
That's shame.
All right, so back to the fun stuff. Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What was your guys' pick?
Enough boring talk.
On Sunday afternoon. What are you guys going with?
Rams by 10.
Ooh, a
That's my
blowout.
pick. I think it'll be like close. I mean, I feel like it'll be like close, and then they score at the end, kind of thing.
Okay, fun.
I have an outstanding take that Matt Stafford's a Hall of Famer, and so I've been this year's been great for me, but he's also looked kind of bad. Like he probably should have had 6 more picks in these playoffs than he did. But this is where I draw the line. I'm rolling with Joe Shiesty, and I think they're going to get it done on yet another field goal to win the game.
Dude, Evan Kickfearson is a legend. That guy
Looks like we're going to the AFC Championship. Just ice water.
Yeah, that guy's a stud. No, I actually like your take about Matt Stafford because I have a similar take and a pending bet with my buddy. Shout out John Opine. He thinks Matt Stafford's trash, and I think he's a Hall of Famer for sure. He's got the stats to prove it. He's been to a Super Bowl. Who knows how many more? He's like 33. He's young. Still got a few years left. Like, dude, I think he's pretty much an L word for a Hall of Famer. Those in the gambling world know not to use the L word, so I'm not going to use it. But that's basically what I would throw out there.
It should be a fun game, though. I like. There's no team that I really like despise. I guess being from St. Louis, I kind of don't want the Rams to win just because they left a lot of open wounds with their departure. But I also never went to any Rams game when I was there. So the only one I went to was when I saw Peyton Manning play in the Broncos, and the stadium was a quarter full, and 75% of those people were Broncos fans. So they had a good reason to get out of town.
Yeah, because I actually did not know you were from St. Louis, so that's interesting. I was curious what St. Louis fans, what they would, who they would go for. I thought maybe they would support the Rams, but I guess I'd be pissed too if they skipped town and went for LA.
Yeah, the owner Kroenke was trying to basically make the taxpayers foot the entire bill for this stadium and had no intention of staying. And people were like, well, you put a terrible product on the field. And it was very clear he wanted to leave. And everybody was like, no, we don't really care. But I don't think, from what I've seen from people in St. Louis, my inside sources are saying it's not a pro Rams crowd.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm going for the Bengals as well. I got Bengals money line. I feel good about
6, 5,
4. I think
4.
I think last time I checked, but I can't bet against Joey B. Joey B just has too much confidence and he backs it up every single week. And I love the guy. He's awesome. I love seeing the clips of him all over Twitter. That is something actually I have like a bunch of random screenshots that I just wanted to talk to you guys about, but that's one of them. Let me see if I can pull it up quick. But he basically said, all right, Joe Burrow told me if he went into an NBA game, he could get at least 12 to 15 points and knew he was going to be great because that was just irrational confidence.
Dave, I feel like Joey B is like you're like who you want to be someday. Like who you were trying to be in college.
Yeah, maybe. I think that time has passed for me, but
yeah, but like when you were peaking in college, like I feel like that's the vibe you were going for.
That's usually like in Drake intramurals, like flag football. That's usually like the drip that I would have, just the
a lot of drip.
Swagger. But then we got to like the regional games, and that was very humbling for me. That was a swift kick to the groin, and then all my Joey B confidence just went down the drain. So
that's fair.
That's when you transfer south and then have a team that's made of like 12 first-round picks.
Are you a Joey B hater?
No, I love him. I'm all on the Joey B train. I'm just like, his story's great, and that team was one of the I would, in my opinion, the greatest college team of all time. But
dude, he's like the Michael Jordan of football. Like as far as like the confidence and like the ability to like go out there and back it up, Like obviously not like, you know what I mean. Not the accolades or like the career by any means, but like the going out there like saying, we're not worried, we're just gonna go do the job, and then they go out, they win. He comes to the locker room and smokes a fat cigar. Like, it gives me big Michael Jordan vibes. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm on board.
With like way less accolades. Like Joey B is gonna be a Hall of Famer, I feel like, but like he is not even on like the pedestal where he's goated yet. You know.
Yeah, you know when they like
He's
take,
like a borderline top 8 QB maybe.
you know when they take like podcast quotes and stuff and they like clip them and put them all over like social media. They're just gonna say like Via peaked in college. Tiny print in the top corner.
The aggregators.
Joey
Hat
B
tip.
is basically Michael Jordan.
Oh, I have a hot take. I feel like I don't want to keep talking about this game, but I feel like the Bengals are like super overrated, and I want them to win. Like I'm rooting for them, but I don't think they're that good.
This sounds like a guy who's scarred by a pretty bad week 1 loss from the Vikings. Just saying.
No, I mean I have Joey B in a lot of my fantasy football leagues this year. I'm a big Chase fan. I like Higgins. I like Mixon. I love them. I feel like they've gotten lucky in a lot of games. I guess maybe that's the sign of a good team, but I think luck's going to catch up to them.
Listen, Craig, there was one team in the NFC North that beat them, and it was the Bears, not the Vikings. So,
and the Packers and the Vikings should have beaten them too.
Should
Did the
have.
Packers lose that game?
the Packers did win that game.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, I thought that they won that in the kickoff missing challenge.
Yeah, well, you don't have to. We don't fact check on this show, Craig. So
Yeah. Good.
chill out with that. All right, chill. Especially to our guests. That's rude. Bear down. Yeah, so I'm excited. Super Bowl is
What are you guys eating for the Super Bowl? Should we do a top list for our Super Bowl snacks?
Yeah, let's just do it now. That's cool. Yeah.
Sorry, David. Normally you do the intro. My bad.
Okay, so as Craig just alluded to, we're going to do top 3 today, but we're going to do, courtesy of Ben, great idea. We're going to do Super Bowl, things that you bring to the Super Bowl, as like snacks, drinks, whatever it may be. So we're going to do top 3 today, and as Ben is the guest, we'll let you go first. We usually do 3, 2, 1. So you do 3, and then we'll go Craig, then me. We'll go around that way.
That's right. I forgot that you guys go backwards. I was like trying to think of my 1, and so all right. I would say my 3. You probably want to go with like a dipping chip. I think there's going to be a fair amount of dips there, and I think a lot of times people put a lot of effort into the dip and don't always remember the conduit from the dip to get to your mouth. So get some Tostitos scoops or something. Be a huge hit.
I was about to say I'm not a big dip guy, so I won't compete with you guys for dips in the top 3. But I can get a good idea of what a good dipping chip is, and I think I would go with like a Ruffles. Those are like a solid, very sturdy chip. It's got that salt that is probably a great accent to the dip, I would imagine. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I'm kind of surprised you're not a dip guy.
Does that surprise you?
Yeah, you're a drip guy, but not a dip guy.
You know I'm a picky eater, so how does that surprise you?
Yeah, that's true. Probably I want like some plain chicken or something. Anyways, I can go next.
Yeah, you're next.
This is a weird one. I was craving it today, and it kind of goes with the theme. Fried green beans. Have you ever had those?
No.
Okay. Well, bring some to your Super Bowl.
You're a psychopath.
What?
Fried green beans were like a thing like 10 years ago. Like they were like all over restaurants. They were a big app. And I made it in my air fryer, or I want to make them in my air fryer, and I have a recipe, and so I'm going to try them this year. So I'm pumped for that.
What's the recipe? You take them out of the freezer and throw them in the air fryer?
Yeah, you make a little batter, and you make a little sauce. It's going to be fire.
I have had like, have you guys ever had like teriyaki green beans before?
Yeah, those are good.
Those are fire. Yeah. You throw them on.
Green beans are a very versatile vegetable.
Yeah, they are. I like green beans, and I'm picky. So that's a tip my cap to green beans.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a terrible pick, but I'm going to go with my number 3. I'm going to go meatballs. I think meatballs, like, have you guys ever had like brown sugar barbecue meatballs?
I have not.
I think that's what I would lean. Normal meatballs are okay too, but these barbecue, like with a little bit of brown sugar in there, meatballs are so fire, dude. And you just get those in like a little crock pot. Huge hit at the Super Bowl. It's my number 3.
Put the recipe in the YouTube link. Or in the, like the comment, not the link. Sorry, the comment.
Okay. Like I said, I mean, I think put them in a crock pot, barbecue and brown sugar. I don't think I'm gonna type that out. So if you guys are listening,
how much? Like
I don't know. You eyeball it. I think, dude.
Okay. Chef David.
Okay, Ben, you're up. What's your number 2?
I love the Oreo balls. I feel like those might be a little heavy for a Super Bowl, but you need stuff that just like sits heavy and is sweet to counteract a lot of the savory stuff. And I love Oreo balls. So that's you got to bring something sweet, and that's goated.
Yeah, that's a
Oreo
good
balls are
one.
fire. Yeah, that's a good choice.
A little sweet because I'm only going for salty, but that's
Yeah, I didn't know
sweet
you were gonna go dessert. That threw me
Yeah.
off, but
Got to
I
mix the
respect
palate
it.
up.
No, I respect it and I appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with some weenies. Classic pick here, but
Some mini weenies.
mini weenies. I'm a big mini weenie guy.
Just brings you back to your college days, or what?
Yeah, I mean it's the same since college, so
I know it hasn't grown. It's okay.
yeah.
My number
Slightly below
two.
average.
My number two. I'm gonna go chicken wings. Boneless,
Ooh.
bone in, doesn't matter. It's a Super Bowl party. People are down to get a little dirty with some bone in wings. Boneless is better for the crowd, I'd say. You know, the people typically lean towards the boneless, especially at a party. You're trying to be clean, maybe cut it up. But I think bone in for the Super Bowl just seems appropriate. Like it's just kind of get a little messy and watch Joey B toss some touchdowns, and that's how it goes.
This may be a hot take, but I feel like boneless wings are basically just nuggets, and so you can't say that you're eating wings if you're eating boneless wings. Like part of eating wings is just like carnage on your hands and face.
Yeah, I don't know. Wings are really tough for me because boneless wings are like one of my favorite foods, but you're really not wrong. It is pretty much like nuggets tossed in sauce. But is there
They're
something
great.
wrong with that? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, is there anything wrong with it?
We learned
No,
a lot
no.
about people when we went to Jethro's in college and figured out what they ordered. But I'm with you, Ben. I'm a bone-in guy.
Why are you guys anti boneless wings at Jethro's?
I am.
Oh, I love the boneless wings. Don't get me wrong. There's no shade in that game. I just like if you're saying to somebody that you're eating wings, I just have an image of like you're stained in barbecue sauce under your fingernails, and there's like a little bit on your beard, and you're just in a food coma.
I think if I'm in the comforts of my own home, I'm a big bone-in wings guy. But if I'm out and about, I need multiple napkins, moist towelettes, multiple cups of water. So the bone-in is a tough experience in public, I'd say,
Yeah.
especially on a date. That's not a Valentine's Day meal.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah, no. Who's up, Craig?
I think it's my number one.
Oh, yeah, you're one.
Number one now.
And I alluded to this earlier, but I'm a huge dip guy, and I found this random recipe a couple of years ago that's been a hit everywhere I've taken it. It's like a chicken cheese Southwestern dip that's basically like eating a just taco, but it's in dip form, and it's got beans and tomatoes and cheese. It's incredible. And I feel like dips are just so versatile at Super Bowl because you can have the chips with them. If you want to feel like you're not destroying yourself, you can like maybe dip a carrot in some dip and be like, I'm counteracting a little bit, but I also don't ever feel like I want to eat a full meal at a Super Bowl party. I want to just sample a lot of the things, and the dip lets you get a lot of the main food groups without just taking up your stomach.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. I'm not a dip guy, and you pretty much persuaded me. So I'm in.
That's a good take.
Did a good job. Yeah.
I'm
Right.
also going to go with a dip. Yeah, I'm a big buffalo chicken dip guy. Not as healthy. Going to make you poop the next day, but hey, it's the best in the moment. That's all I got.
That's all you got to say.
It's that easy. It's that good.
Does it give you like pretty painful runs afterwards, or is it worth it?
It's like the hurt so good kind of pain, like this was so good, worth it,
Like it's worth it on the way in,
Yeah.
even though it hurts on the way out.
Yeah, exactly.
I respect that. All right, my number one, because we said food or drink, I'm gonna go beer. You gotta have beer at the Super Bowl. Gotta have beer at the Super Bowl party. Thank you for the cash money emoji. I appreciate that. But yeah, I think that's obviously clutch. You're the guy that shows up with a nice 30 rack. It's just a good start to the party. The vibes are high, and that's what I'm going with.
What beer?
But
Or if you don't want to reveal,
No ads, no free ads, Craig. No free ads.
Bleep that out. Bleep that out.
They have good
that is
commercials too. So
that is so true because I feel like the host very few people bring beer, and so the host kind of feels like they're under pressure to just like supply a bunch of alcohol, which is arguably the most expensive and like toughest to suit a crowd. So if you just walk in and you're like, hey, a little bit of stress off you, I got some with me, that's a big move.
Huge
For
move
sure.
to show up BYOB to the party. You know, it's a huge move, especially if you bring enough to share. Because
Oh yeah.
you're right. You're right. Hosting, not only is it difficult to determine like what is everybody gonna like, but also like figuring out how much you'll need and supplying it. You know, the cash flow. It's expensive to do that. So yeah, that's a little pro tip for you guys. Ever showing up to a party or a get together, BYOB out of respect.
Good pro tip, Dave.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, excellent segment. Shout out the Super Bowl. We're all excited. Let's see, what do I want to talk about next? What about some grinds my gears? You know, since Craig, you kind of shuffled around the order of the episode that we always do.
I'm
really
sorry.
Kind of
I'm
scrambled
sorry.
my brain, but you know, hopefully, Ben, you showed up with some grinds my gears because you know I'm going to have some. Craig, I'm sure you may or may not have some. But let's hear some people's grinds my gears.
Well, yeah. So we've been talking about doing this together since the fall, and so honestly, I've been thinking of grinds my gears for the last couple months, and I only put two together. One of them may not be super relevant now, but I'm sure you'll think of it at some point. So, first of all, can either of you tell me what the farthest to the left lane on the highway is called? What do you call that lane on the left, the far left?
That would be the fast lane, my friend.
I would say it's the left lane.
Okay.
Craig,
So
dude,
that's
sometimes your creative brain just blows my mind, dude. You're just like, I wonder what goes on up there. And sometimes I think it might just be like a hamster running on a wheel or something. I don't know.
actuaries naming things. That's a
Okay, Ben, back to you. I'm sorry.
What's the answer? Yeah.
Well, so I was always taught it was the passing lane, and that's where my grinds my gears is my family lives, 7, 8 hours away, so I have to drive there on the holidays. I'm usually a pretty patient guy, and I like road trips, but I love to just set the cruise and forget it. And I hate when somebody is just chilling in the passing lane and just does not move. I go respectful 5 over the speed limit, sometimes a disrespectful 7, but usually a respectful 5. Um, and it just bothers me to no end when I have to take myself off cruise control because I feel like I'm just wrecking my ETA. Like nothing makes me happier than watching the ETA go down. And I was always told that left lane you're only in if you're passing somebody on the right. So if there's somebody coming up behind you, you do everything you can to get out of the way. Obviously, that doesn't apply to me. If I'm in the far left lane, nobody has a right to pass me at all. That's just kind of, the rules of the road. But that's a big grinds my gears. Again, very relevant around the holiday time when I was traveling home. And then my second one, I don't know if you guys have experienced this. Have you ever seen those like ads on a phone that make it look like you can play a game, but then you touch it and it like takes you to the app store?
Yeah, that's the worst. Like it looks kind
Dude,
of
so
fun, and you just like swipe a little bit, and then next thing you know, you're like in the app store downloading something.
so you're like in the mindset of like these next 15 seconds of my life are wasted because I'm gonna spend them watching this ad regardless. But this game looks kind of fun, so I may as well like try to do it. You're like, sure, this is simple, like shoot this target or like move something over here. And I'm like, why not make the most of these wasted 15 seconds? And then as soon as your finger hits the screen and you see something start loading and you're like, it's just the worst in the world because I don't have game systems anymore. And that, my main entertainment, if I want some, is like the 2 mobile games that I play. And when one of those ads pops up, it ruins my mood.
Yeah.
What mobile games do you play?
I'm sure you've seen the Instagram ads for that soccer game where you literally just like draw lines and it passes the ball or shoots to people. I play that game because it's the most basic game ever. But I have to turn it. I literally turn my phone. I take it off Wi-Fi so that ads don't load because that's just like it kills me because that's the app that like gives me the most of them. But that's really it. I play a phone game for like 2 weeks and I get bored with it. So
See, I think that those like game apps are like in some sort of like Ponzi scheme where like they're all together and they all put up ads throughout the games. Like no matter what one of those games you downloaded from Instagram that you were inspired by, like you're gonna be playing and there's gonna be so many different ads that pop up every time there's a pause in action. You're just like, oh my God, like I gotta wait out this ad, or you like try to click the tiny little X in the top corner and then it opens up the app store and you're like, come on, dude. It's like, I swear, I think they're all in on it together.
Dude, they have to be, because I see the same ads all the time, and the ones that piss me off are for the games where like somebody's playing the game so poorly that you're like, I could play this game so much better, and it's an insult to my intelligence to watch this ad of someone failing at this game. And then I'm like, no, but this is what they want. They want you to download it. And it's like they all are like that, where it's like the person who is recording this ad just is so bad at this game, I could do better, but then you're buying into their scheme.
Yeah. Yeah, they're clever, man. I think they're definitely on top of things. Like there's either someone really terrible playing, you're like, this looks so easy, like I could easily dominate this game. I'm gonna try it. Or someone's really good and you're just like, this game looks pretty fun. Like it looks like decently easy. Like this guy's killing it. I could probably kill it too. And yeah, next thing you know, you got like 15 viruses on your phone. Unreal. All right. Well,
Well, that we
participation.
don't accept ad money from those kinds of apps. So
No, we don't go for pop-up ads. As you can tell, you can watch a whole episode of Peaked in College and not have a single pop-up ad. And that's because of us. You know, we've stood strong. We've obviously had the offers out there. They've
Right.
backed up the Brinks truck for us, but we just decided to refuse it because we care about our fans.
it's for you.
I'll comment on your first one just because you transitioned to your second one, but I completely agree. You know, people in the fast lane that don't understand how to be in the pass lane, they're just scumbags. It's as simple as that. There's nothing worse when you're on the open road, 2-lane highway, 3-lane highway, and someone's cruising in the way left lane. And then you try to go around them in the right lane or whatever, and then they get over like last second. So you're like swerving back and forth, like, and I don't even speed anymore. Like I got a speeding ticket a few years back, and now I'm like white knuckling it everywhere I drive because I'm just nervous, you know. Like I don't know, getting pulled over is like the worst, you know.
How fast were you going?
It was an accident, but like 15 over.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We'll bleep that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no.
I'm asking the hard questions today.
Yeah, but I got in trouble for it, so it's not like I'm hiding it. Like it's probably on my permanent record, you know. Like, but here's what happened. I'll tell the story very briefly because it's very memorable. But so I was going from Des Moines back home to Milwaukee, and it's 70 miles per hour going through basically almost all the way home. But in one part, Iowa City, where I live now, it goes down 65. So I was going like 79, 80. I didn't realize I was going that fast. Like now I don't do that, but 10 over, come on. Most of the people listening, 10 over.
9 you're fine, 10 you're mine. Like that's what they say. You know?
Exactly. So I'm going like 80 through Iowa City. Next thing you know, there's lights behind me. It's a super busy day. Like I don't know, it must have been like a holiday or something. So I like don't want to pull over because it's so busy and there's like no shoulder. So I like keep driving. The cops following me with their lights on. I keep driving until like the next exit, which like seems like it was 20 minutes on the road, but it was probably like half a mile. Then I pull over like down the exit. I go down the whole exit ramp and I go like down a whole other street and then pull over. Like they knew I wasn't trying to get away. Like they could tell like I was like basically rolling because I didn't want them to think I was like trying to outrun them or something. But like at the time, it was the first time I've ever been pulled over. Like I was extremely nervous. I also like didn't want other people to see me pulled over. I was like self-conscious about that. So I like pulled in like a secluded little area. And then the cop like got out and it was like a woman and she just knocks on my window and she's just like, yeah, don't ever do that shit again. I'm like, yes, ma'am. And I was just trying to make sure it was safe for both of us. She's like, it'll be safe for both of us if you pull over right away. And I was like, yes, ma'am. Looks like I'm not getting out of this one. And then she wrote me a ticket. So I thought I'd be able to like charm her, you know, because once she got out and it was like a woman cop, I had like this false level of confidence.
David Drip, yeah.
Yeah. I had this false level of confidence, you know, like the movies or something, but she did not go for it. And yeah, that's the day that I realized that I was uglier than I thought.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's the story of when I got pulled over and got a speeding ticket. You're welcome.
Wow.
I've been with Ben driving when he's had some road rage for sure.
Are you an angry driver, Ben?
So again, it comes from a place of just like anybody that gets in between me and yeah, okay, yeah, you could say that, but yeah, it's not clean, and also like Craig and I think the times we've driven together are on spring breaks again, where there's like a destination that you're very excited to get to, and everything that's keeping me from that, honestly deserves hell. So that's kind of my mindset going into those exchanges. But yeah, it's not always pretty. And I will agree, so embarrassing. I did get pulled over once or twice. And it's
What
always
do you mean?
bad.
What do you mean once or twice? Was it once or
It
was
was,
it
it was
twice?
twice. It was twice. It was twice, but one of the times it was, yeah, during the day, and it's one of those like I had passed a few people, because they're being dumb in the passing lane, and then you just like see cars pass you that you passed, and they were like, "What is this guy doing?" And then you're like, "Oh, looks like karma caught up to him," and you're just sitting there like, "Oh, this is the worst."
Yeah, I know. That is brutal. Craig, you ever been pulled over?
I've never been pulled over.
Good boy.
I'm a
good
stellar
boy.
driver. No, I'm actually a bad driver. But I've gotten lucky, I'll take it.
Hey, sometimes better be lucky than good.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I've driven a lot with Ben, and he's a good driver. It just cracks me up whenever he's like, F this person or something like that,
That's what happens.
Mom,
Go
Mom,
ahead,
if you're
defend yourself.
listening, that didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
The only thing I said was F.
Craig's
But Ben is a very good driver. I'll vouch for him.
Yeah, he's a good driver, but he uses really naughty words.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I was just gonna say when you're late for something, that's when my road rage comes out. Like even when other people really aren't doing anything wrong, like it just makes me like freak out when I'm late. It's my own fault. Like I'm running late for a tea time or something. Someone does the littlest inconvenience to me, and I lose my mind for sure. So I'm sure it doesn't surprise either of you, but it's usually how I roll.
I don't want to distract too much from the grinds my gears, but I do have one quick speeding story too. So shout out Kevin von Carver. I was in the car with him. We were coming back from Minnesota, his parents' place up there. My car had broken down twice on the way back, and we ended up having to leave it in a random small town in Minnesota to get fixed because it could not be driven back. So I was having a terrible day already, and then we get in KVC's car, and he's making great time though. Homie is just booking it down the highway. And there were a couple times where we looked at him and we were like, "Hey, dude, you might want to like slow down a little bit." And he's like, "No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine." And then all of a sudden, sure enough, the high beams come on, and he's like, "Oh, well, dang it," and pulls the car over. And I always heard, if a cop comes up and asks you if you know how fast you're going, to just like play dumb, but the guy comes over, rolls down the window. He's like, "Son, do you know how fast you're going?" And KBC's just like, yeah, I was speeding. It was just the biggest like, dude, what is going on?
Yeah, usually supposed to be like, no, officer, my speedometer says 65.
Yeah, no, he was just like, yeah, not exactly, but pretty fast.
He's just like, sir, take me away.
Yep, just I write the ticket. I'm guilty. So that was a funny moment.
Kevin von Carver, world champion, heavyweight chess boxer. Pretty crazy.
World champion at getting out of speeding tickets too.
Yeah, or getting himself into one.
Yeah.
Craig, do you have any grinds my gears? Probably should wrap it up relatively soon here.
Yeah, I've got one quick one. I live right by a Trader Joe's. It's dip season. It's football season. I like Trader Joe's. Some things there are expensive. Like I almost paid $15 for a pack of blueberries, but I decided not to. But there are some good things at Trader Joe's, and I will vouch for them as long as you're smart. But do you want to know what Trader Joe's does not have in the store? Queso. They have no queso. They have 18 different salsas. 18. But no queso, except for some cashew cheese dip. That grinds my gears.
See, the problem with most of your grinds my gears is yours are like things that you could just put on Yelp or something instead of like bringing to the show. You're like, they were not stocked with queso on Super Bowl.
No, it's not even that they weren't stocked. They didn't even have queso. Like they don't have any product.
There wasn't even like an empty space for it.
No, like they don't carry any queso.
Yikes. I don't shop at Trader Joe's because I'm not Bill Gates, but I'm glad that you have good experiences there for the for
I live a block away from it, David.
Yeah, this was a subtle flex by Craig that he makes money.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I was at Trader Joe's for the third time this week, and they still had no queso.
It's next door. I go, I like, oh, I'm hungry. I want something. I go get it, you know?
Yeah. What do you say, Bezos?
So, what do you got, David?
I don't know. Obviously, I have a few. The one that pops into my head that was inspired by Ben is just slow walkers. I'd say, similar thing. I park my car somewhere, undisclosed location, because I'm trying not to get towed. But I park my car there, and then I walk the remainder of the way to work. And people that walk in front of me, which is rare, usually it's open sidewalk for me at 6 a.m. But when there are people there and they're walking very slow, and you like don't want to be that guy that like squirts around them, like sometimes on campus you could just like walk around someone because you're in a rush to class or something. They understand, but like, when you're just like pushing somebody out of the way, it's like basically a one-person sidewalk. Like it's just real awkward, especially in the middle of the winter when there's like tall mounds of snow on each side. It just makes it difficult. Then I'm sitting there just like checking my watch. I'm running late. I'm standing behind this person. Like it just like really starts my day off on a bad note.
And the worst thing about that too is I feel like when you're trying to pass someone, like most of the time you have to just walk like an unreasonably fast pace to get past them so that you don't seem like you're just like entering their bubble or stalking them or something. So you have to hit like basically a jog to get past them. And then they're over here looking at like, look at Speedy Gonzalez over here. Like, where do you have to go? And you're like, I'm just trying to walk my speed, man.
I know. And they're just like, dude, chill out. And you're right. Like when you're walking behind like a woman, you're trying not to be that guy that's like right behind them, lurking in the shadows.
Yeah.
So like, all right, now I got to speed up. Now they're going to be worried that I'm like jogging behind them. Usually I give them like a little cough, let them know I'm there, So, and then you just work your way around them that way. So.
And it's even worse when like you make an effort to make noise, and they like don't notice. Either they're deaf or have like headphones in or something. It's like be aware of your surroundings.
And they still jump like when you walk past them, even though you like try to make it very obvious that you were coming.
Yeah, that grinds my gears.
Yeah, like today, this is unrelated, kind of, but another walking story. Like I was on my way home, and it was like a beautiful 50 degrees here in Iowa City today. From on my way home, and the way that the like crosswalk works, where I cross, is when my crosswalk thing turns on, the people across from me have a green turn arrow. So they turn in front of me. Does that make sense? So the problem is when there's like 10 cars deep, I have to like slowly, awkwardly walk so that the cars go because nobody has enough respect to wait for me. I've tried that. It doesn't work. One guy was in front of me like the first time I was there, and the car almost nailed him. They didn't stop for him, and he flipped him off. And I was like, lesson learned. I don't think I'm going to try that. So it's terrible timing. I finally get the walk signal. They get the green arrow, so I got to like awkwardly do it. Well, today I awkwardly walked like I normally do. Like 5 or 6 cars zoom past me. One car stops and waits. There's like 5 cars behind him. So then I pick up a light little jog, and I jog through the rest of the sidewalk. But instead of going like my normal route, I try to like just get off as soon as I can. Huge mud puddle. So my boots are just like covered in mud. Then I'm like frolicking around in like a little water puddle that was like melted ice, trying to like get the mud off my boots. And people were probably driving past like, why is that grown man frolicking around in the puddles? Like he is a little girl in the meadows. Like it was just a bizarre situation. And now my boots are covered in mud. So
we uncovered a lot of grinds my gears here.
Yeah. Big venting session.
It's good. It's good to let off some steam, when you get together with the guys. So I'm glad we were able to get this off our chest.
And now David gets to take his boots to out of unit laundry tomorrow.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. I got to go down 2 flights of stairs, pay like $8 to put my boots in the tumble dry low and get them cleaned off before work. Unbelievable.
Mm.
All right. What do you say we wrap it up? It's been a good session.
It's been good. Thanks for coming on, Ben.
Ben, we got to have you back, man. It was a fun episode. I think things went well. I enjoyed having you on. It was nice chatting with you.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm glad we're even talking about a second date at this point. I was a little nervous, but yeah, it was always a blast to talk to you guys. This was fun.
Yeah, I would like a second date. I think maybe episode 100 we'll have you back. What do you
Yeah,
think?
no,
Next Valentine's Day.
Are you free like 2026? Spring
I cannot think of
2026?
anything I would rather do.
Okay. We'll see you then. We'll get a hold of your secretary. They get a hold of us and our secretary, and we'll get something figured out.
That sounds perfect.
All right. Sounds good. This was episode 10 of Peaked in College. Thank you all for listening.